back. I've made a video in a while.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to keep going with our Irving Sharonette videos. We are on game 12 today. I don't remember anything about this game, so I'm going to be looking at this game with you. It is called The Shifting Attack. And it's a game between Reshevsky and Najdorf, both famous players from like the 50s, 50s and 60s.
So I think Najdorf's not alive anymore.
Yeah, neither of them are.
Okay.
These guys were contemporaries of like Fisher, type people. Reshevsky was born in like 1911, and Najdorf would have been born around the same time, I think.
So like, if they were both alive, it would be like 100.
Yeah, basically. Okay. So this game starts with d4, knight f6, and basically what he says in the beginning is that the point of this game is that Reshevsky makes threats all over the board. He's attacking on the king side and then the queen side and the center, back and forth, and it's too much for black to defend. Okay. Do you know what this opening is called? So this is a big opening.
Nimzo Indian Defense.
Yes. Well, it's up there. Yeah, this is called the Nimzo Indian Defense. So the Nimzo Indian Defense. So the Indian defenses are d4 knight f6. It's like a whole family of openings as black, and there's different ways to keep developing here. You can play g6 and go for the king's Indian, or b6, go for the queen's Indian. The Nimzo is when you go e6 and meet knight c3 with bishop b4. And the idea is that we're considering giving up our bishop for this knight. We might double white's pawns and reduce his control of the center. But the downside, and also the other benefit is that we can quickly castle. The downside of this move is that bishops are good, and we have to give up a bishop for this knight. So he plays e3. This is one of the major ways to play here, and then c5 hits the center.
Yeah.
Knight e2 develops and keeps his central structure solid. C takes d4, and they give a line that d5. So this is a line that Sharonette gives. It's just like something that happened in another game.
Oh wow, this happened in another game?
Yeah, so this was a game between Najdorf and Botvinnik.
Ooh.
And Botvinnik ended up winning.
Yeah. In 1956.
Yeah, this is a good position for white because, well, white has the two bishops, number one, but also these double pawns here are not so bad because they're not that weak. The bishop controls them, defends them really securely, and this pawn controls a lot of space, and d5 is weak. So this is a bad position for black. All right, so e takes d4, d5. He hits the center. Okay, and bishop d2. Developing and breaking that pin. And now we're going to get rid of this bishop. Yeah, if bishop a5, why is this a blunder?
Bishop a5. On b4.
Yeah, b4 traps the bishop. So we can't play that. He has to play bishop takes c3. And so now white should be a little better because white just has a bunch of extra space on the queen side, and there's like some weaknesses in black's position. Like these squares are all weak. Well, let's find out. So a5, bishop e5 check. Yeah, so a5, the note that he gives is that this stops white from playing b4. Yeah, so if he just did nothing, then we could support this passed pawn with b4.
Yes.
And then this pawn is very safe, and
this might happen. This position might happen in a 800, 700 game.
Here, scoot in.
This might happen in a 700, 800 rating game, but like when you get over a certain rating, these positions, when like black just does nothing, then that's gonna stop at like a point, something close to 1,000.
Well, black's not doing nothing here. It's just that white had a threat of b4. I mean, castling is not doing nothing. It's something useful.
Yes.
But he had to stop b4.
But like, maybe in other positions when like someone's finding mate in 1, and you just go h6 doing nothing.
Yeah, I see. So yeah, people ignore big threats at the lower rating levels, and then they do gradually stop doing that. The higher rated they get. So they
And
do
that's
it less
happening
often
to me.
and less extreme. Yes, yeah. Your opponents are not going to miss like mate in one, and like if you attack their queen, they're going to move it, that kind of thing. And in the past, they might not do that some of the time, like in the low hundreds, 500, 600, but then they do stop doing that. All right, black blocks this check with bishop d7. Knight d7 is a big mistake because c6 kicks the knight, and then c7 check is coming with a discovered attack, hitting the queen. So he has to play bishop d7. c6 was not possible there. Castle. He points out again that knight a6, which tries to stop d4, runs into c6. Knight c6. There's a nice sacrifice of just opening up the e-file. So now we're attacking this knight. So this is a totally winning position because we're attacking this knight and also rook e1. Rook e1 is coming. Okay, so in the game, white plays b4. Now white is much better because these pawns are very good. Because they are defending each other, and the c pawn is a dangerous pass pawn. Knight a6, and now we play knight d6. So he gives a long line here. He says the immediate threat is knight b7, queen c7, and knight takes a5. So knight b7 with a fork on the queen, and the queen and the pawn. And if at the end of that knight takes c5, then rook fc1 with a pin, knight e4, rook takes queen, knight takes queen, and then f3. So we can look at this line a little bit. So like if black does nothing, h6, knight b7, queen c7, knight takes a5. So knight takes c5 is a tricky move because if takes, we win a pawn and get the piece back.
I don't think I've seen this position out of all my months of looking at positions. I've never seen a position like this with under 1200. Honestly, like this, I've never seen under 1200.
Yeah, he gives this crazy long line. b5 he gives. I don't even know if this works. Oh, so we messed up the line because b5 in the line that he was giving, this is like if he was showing what white's threat was. So it was dependent on this pawn not having moved. We played h6 to waste a move. But okay, so basically white was threatening this fork with knight d6. Queen d7.
This game looks like it's almost going to be done.
Well, it's still even material. It's just that white is better because he's much better on the queen side. But now the interesting thing is that instead of just pushing forward on the queen side, he starts to open up space on the king side as well. He plays the move f4. And now maybe white is threatening to play f5 and f6 with an attack on black's king. Rook a to b8. He gives a line after g6, f5 anyway. It's very nice. Rook takes f5 with this idea. And mate
wait, Daddy, go back.
Hold on.
A couple
and just
moves.
at the end, mate is unstoppable either by queen g7 or knight h6.
Yeah.
So you noticed that the evaluation bar dropped?
It went.
Yeah. So basically what that means is that here instead of g takes f5, hold on. Here instead of g takes f5, the computer found some way for black to defend this.
That
Basically,
humans cannot see.
well, not necessarily.
Okay, most.
Maybe find something.
Okay, some.
So g takes f5 runs into immediate problems, but maybe we just play a takes b4. We just ignore the rook and get our own counterplay. Because if a takes b4, then I think that we have knight takes b4 here, this kind of thing. Okay, computer's not happy about that, but some idea like this, maybe knight takes c5.
Oh.
Knight takes c5 is
not
better.
Happy.
Because eventually we can take the eventually we will be threatening to take the rook. Okay. Rook A to B8 was played. White continues with his plan. He plays f5, opening up space on the king side. Yeah, so black played e takes f5 here. If a takes b4, then white has a very common attacking idea of playing f6. And he's threatening queen g5, which is forcing mates. Here, right, he's threatening queen g5, g6, and queen h6.
Mm-hmm.
So if takes, then queen takes f6. Ooh, the computer's mad about this.
Mate in 12. Draw. Mate in 12. I don't see a mate in 12.
Well, I think it's saying that the evaluation is plus 12. Yeah, so maybe queen takes h6 is not so good. We're supposed to do something like this. Ooh, nope. Oh, here's what we're supposed to do. I'll tell you. Knight e4. Nope. Oh, so knight e4 is still very good. The idea is that we're pinning this and attacking this, and he can't defend everything. So he gives the line queen h6, f5, and then check, and here, and then after king g8, rook f3 is coming. Just unstoppable mates.
It's unstoppable mates.
All right, so he takes the pawn, and rook ab1 is an interesting. Ooh, I'm gonna turn the evaluation bar off. Rook ab1 is an interesting move because, well, white had two ways to recapture over here, but instead he's just solidifying the queen side first with the idea that he can recapture this pawn later. So king h8. And he gives some analysis after g6. We can still go knight takes f5 with the idea of check, check, and unstoppable mates. Right, this rook lift is coming and rook g3 can't be stopped. g6, knight takes f5, f6, he gives this nice little trick, queen takes d5, and the idea of here and here.
Oh yeah.
And then we win with our two extra pass pawns on the queen side.
Also, you're getting this pawn. Well,
not necessarily, because he can defend it. But the point is that at the end we're up a pawn, and these pawns are just rolling down the board very quickly. King h8. And so now Chernev praises this move a lot. He says that it's a master move because the queen is working on both sides of the board. It's threatening stuff on g7. And pinning this pawn.
So many sentences that ends with an exclamation point.
And meanwhile, the queen is supporting these pawns moving on the queen side. So queen c3 has ideas on both sides of the board. Knight c7. Black's trying to get his knight back into the game.
I think white's gonna win this.
Yeah, well, white is definitely winning because he's much better on both sides of the board. These pawns are very dangerous over here, and he's threatening mate right away, and he's going to be able to bring more pieces over to the king side as well. So knight e6, knight d6, hitting f7, as well as supporting b5 and then later c6, f6, queen h3, which is threatening to win a piece. How is white threatening to win a piece here? What could white play now to win a piece?
Rook b e1 or rook f e1.
Yeah, it's moving a rook to e1, right? Because black would have no way to defend the knight again without hanging a piece somewhere. Rook f d8, so this is getting out of the pin by defending the queen. Rook e1, knight d4.
Rook e8.
Blink. You see how this works?
Wait on. Yeah, oh yeah, I see it. Queen takes e8.
Well, queen takes e8 is just giving up a queen.
Okay, but rook takes e8. Rook takes e8. Queen takes.
Yeah, so this is just a nice little deflection idea.
Well, they have to basically.
So basically. Queen. And then the pawns are.
Okay, and.
Are still good, but this is just a nice little tactic at the end.
Okay, I think white's definitely gonna win this.
Queen d7 is hitting the knights.
Yep, white won it.
And getting ready to play c6.
White won. That was very quick.
Okay. What would you do here with white?
Okay, I think with white, I see no other. Oh. b7, but then I saw rook b1.
Okay, yeah, rook b1's the problem. So what do you do here with white?
So that's what you do. You go queen b7.
Okay. Queen b7 is working.
Interesting.
But okay, there's a simpler way. I mean, yeah, so queen b7, he can't take the queen because you will queen. And otherwise you play c7 and c8. So queen b7 completely works. The simplest way, which is what is played in the game, is just to move a pawn.
Okay, move a pawn.
Don't get mated, and then c7, c8 is coming. But queen b7 would have worked as well. Creative solution. Okay.
That was
So what did we learn from this game? Number one was the strength of passed pawns.
Yes, always.
So these defended passed pawns over here on the queen side were very dangerous because white could put his rooks behind them and threaten to push them down the board. And that was the winning idea that white used in the end. The c pawn was coming down the board and queening. But also the idea of attacking the king side with this pawn storm of f4, f5, and f6, threatening queen g5. And finally, the idea that if you can make weaknesses and attack things on multiple places, both sides of the board, it's very difficult for black to control them all. So those are the things that we learned from this game. And we will wrap up this video now. Thank you everybody for watching.
That was probably our shortest Irving Shannon video.
Yeah, it was just nice and quick. It was kind of a short game and not too crazy on the variations. Goodbye, everybody.